Now, like I said, it's pretty bad.
It's actually.
I did say you really gotta get up close and personal.
Yeah.
To really appreciate the numbers. And there's more downstairs too.
Oh, I know. I don't think I needed to see that.
And that guy and the two in the pool. That's what you get. That's what you get for going in our swimming pool. Now, I did also tell you my name for our fireworks shop, right? Or I think it's just going to be a gunpowder shop now that TNT is so valuable. Because with gunpowder, you can charge more for less.
Don't recall.
You're not going to like it.
I'm ready.
It's Bombs Ahoy. Nobody saw it happen, but I recorded the message of you getting the achievement. There you go. All right, I think this is really going to sell the Delta Sky Club. All right. Let's make it a little bigger even. There we go. You know, and you know, of course the walls are optional. If you take the walls out, you get to see all of the exposed wiring downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me get some ceiling. Would you believe I'm running low on ceiling?
Really?
All right. Step on in. It's the executive bathroom.
Yeah.
Members only.
That's what this is.
Yep. Oh, hang on. No, I know what'll really make it. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Executive bathroom. You're going to need the executive hand towel. Okay? And I have just the one. There we go. There's your entertainment center.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
I like that this is the only actual TV channel. It's just Phil Swift for flex tape.
Just only runs infomercials.
Yeah, and then the other two are just dead.
Delta Sky Club.
You got Pong, you got flex tape infomercial, you got static, and you got test pattern. Take your pick.
Yep. Yep.
Buried up to his neck in the sand. Why wouldn't he be? And you can still trade with him.
There he is.
And he's next to the Iron Golem, too, so if any zombies come up and try and eat him, they'll just get smacked.
Perfect.
There we go.
In the first episode.
You could just start bone mealing the floor of the lake.
All of it.
Yep.
Right.
Well, we got to make sure nobody can tell that there's no fish in there.
Oh, yes. They're hiding.
Yes, they're just hiding in the seagrass. They'll come out eventually. But it's going to be another $59.99 for another hour.
Yeah. $59.99.
Yeah.
Wow.
Per person.
Oh, of course.
There we go. I got the sign up. Bait and switch fly fishing tours. Tickets $59.99. We may have to rework the language of that a little bit because we don't want to imply that there are actually fish.
Oh.
You know. We want to imply that you can go fishing, but not that you'd actually catch anything.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
Be a tour of fishing.
Yeah. We do that. That feels like that's not enough space.
That. Huh. I mean, again.
Yeah.
If.
Could also do that.
If we're just dealing with this.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just dealing with that. That is true. Maybe we have that here, but then we put a bigger boat out on the lake. I mean, I think the implication we had was that there's a separate dock somewhere else that Salty Pete hitches his boat to. Because I don't think we want the bait and switch guided fishing tours to be a two-person ordeal.
Well, probably not.
Because that would just be the guide and a single individual. And fishing takes a long time, you know. That's
Very
why they call it
true.
fishing and not catching.
Ye- Yep.
You know what I'll do? I should put my rope data pack or my rope function in the data pack and enable that so that we can string up some ropes along the edges here. It took me a month, but I actually did it. Watch. Boom. All right, I've got the pavilion. It does not protect anyone that's actually on the dock.
No, just the boat.
It's just there for the boat. Yeah. And then
But you know, they got to sign a waiver before they
yeah.
come here anyway, so.
So, you know. Actually, here's what we'll do. Should have that come down one. And we'll just do that. Why not?
Yeah.
And then, okay, here's what we do. We want to hit him with the old, how do I want to do this? Yeah, we'll do like that, and that, and that, and that, and then I need more oak, which I don't think I have. I gotta go get more oak. Hang on, I'm gonna leave you in suspense here.
Ah.
And then, I'm not sure you're ready for this. Bada boom. Right, so we got the boat chain for hauling up the boat.
The boat we don't.
Yeah, the boat we don't have, admittedly. Yes, I will confess to that. And we got the pier for the boat we don't have. And we got a boat
Pier for the fish we don't have.
Yeah,
Or-
and we got a boat for the
yeah.
fish we don't have. There we go. We just gotta figure out an actual boat. We'll just leave this one here for now.
$60.
It's $59.99. Okay. And it, you know, just, let's think about how long a fishing tour is gonna be. And you gotta pay for gas.
Yeah, you're right.
You gotta pay the tour guide. You gotta pay for your bait and tackle.
You're
It's an all-inclusive tour, Zacticon.
right. Yeah.
All right, the Fletcher is in business. We just have to find some way of keeping him off the top of the fletching table.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what we do? Here's what we do. We put his bed in front of the door so that he has a place to sleep, but he can't actually leave bait and switch fly fishing tours.
This tiny boat.
Yeah. Hey, you know, you get what you pay for.
Pay for gas.
Yeah.
There is no gas for this boat.
You pay for the bait and
$60.
tackle.
No fish.
$60. No
Two-man boat.
fish. Yeah.
Is that for 1 hour?
Well, it's a 4-hour tour.
Oh, 4-hour tour.
Yeah, but if you want to stay out for longer, you got to buy another ticket.
Of course.
Now, here's the thing. Okay, you ready for this? About to add twice the value onto this trip. Okay.
Gonna double the value right now. Oh,
Yeah.
2 boats.
Yeah, for the price of one. Yeah.
Think you can get a ticket for the wrong boat.
Yeah.
One's behind the other boat. You have to wait for someone else to buy a ticket for the boat in front of it.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
your time is still running out as you're
Yeah.
waiting there.
Exactly. uh. So I'm starting to think that I should get to work on that gunpowder shop sooner rather than later, because these boxes are starting to fill up, and there's still more in the gunpowder farm that I have to unload. So it's got to go somewhere. These are all empty, but that's next. I need sand for that more than I need gunpowder. I don't currently have any good way to get sand. I'm working on it, but it's a process. So anyway, now I got to cut, because if I leave my gunpowder vault right now, you're gonna find out where it is, and then Dewey's gonna try and steal it, and then I'm gonna have to burn Dewey's house down, which is gonna be difficult because Dewey doesn't have a house because he has the attention span of a goddamn third grader and can't finish anything. But you get the point. Winston, you can cut it right here, and I'll just leave. Oh, I also finished the Nether hub. Uh, so to the fishbowl we go. Anytime now. Thank you. And then we gotta wait for all this to load. Oh, there's Kabuka Town. There's all the iron golems. Yeah, there's the llamas. I don't know why it loads the entities first. Seems like you'd want to load the, the ground you're standing on first. That's just me. Can I move, please? Thank you. All right, fishbowl. More or less the same, I think. Nothing really exciting there. There's the bits of the old Nether hub. I gotta move that. That doesn't look very good. Let's see. Which direction was I going? I was going this direction. I almost went over towards Kabuka Town there, but that's completely unrelated to what I'm doing. That's a later project. All right. So I've already introduced this. This is Dank Lembo's little flat shopping district area, place, zone. It's a district area, place, zone. I'm just going to use as many words for that as I can in one sentence because, why the hell would I pre-plan anything I'm going to say? We've already got one shop here. There's Dank Lembo's shop. That's Mast's, the French guy's shop, which was over in the fishbowl, but we moved it over here because this is zoned for commercial use, and it was in the way of a light I was trying to put in. So I don't know what these are doing here, which is saying something because I'm the one that planted them, so we're probably going to move those. I think maybe here-ish wouldn't be a bad spot for the gunpowder shop. And I'm definitely going to call it a gunpowder farm at least once in the course of the preceding events, which, I've done it several times already and had to completely re-record everything I said from scratch, so, Okay, I went off on a fairly major tangent there that I'm just going to cut out. So I think we're going to put it right here. Let me see here. I got to actually pull up the reference thing on the other monitor, which I should have done before I started recording. So what I want this to look like is, seeing as how it's Palms Ahoy and it's a generic island resort getaway, I'm thinking about going for a some sort of Polynesian style, which is not the style we've gone for at Palms Ahoy at all. So the idea with this, that I've attempted to explain several times but have been too scatterbrained to finish a sentence on, is that this is going to be sort of a giant tiki head that when you put a whatever, I was going to say you put a coin in, like an arcade machine, but we don't really, well, we do have coins. We don't use them as currency. You put a currency in, and it spits out, like the mouth opens up and it spits out gunpowder. And of course, this is a tiki head in a scale wherein one would not normally find a tiki head, because this is presumably some sort of styrofoam replica being used by someone with no real connections to Polynesian culture in an attempt to sell something that in and of itself doesn't really have any connections to Polynesian culture. Where do I keep my scaffolding? So, the problem with this is going to be that I got to squeeze in a whole bunch of redstone in the back. Oh good, you're here, and I don't have a bed anywhere nearby, so I just got to put up with it. So, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I know what the redstone looks like. I've planned it out in creative, but it is fairly large. In fact, I don't think I can switch OBS to record a different window. I don't think it's going to work. So you're just going to have to take my word for it. But rest assured, I have it open. You know what else I forgot? So the current plan is that I'm actually going to have to build another volcano, smaller scale, behind this one to conceal the mass amounts of redstone that are going to be required to parse the input properly. I'm sure there are infinitely better ways to do what I'm trying to do here, but the way I have it set up, the redstone is fairly bulky and needlessly overcomplicated. Can I open my shulker box, please? Thank you. That's all I ask for. Let's see. I need a blue one. This is kind of an unusual thing. I have an image that I'm using for reference that I found on Google Images. So I do that and then that. But because Google Images works the way it does, I probably cannot recover the image in sufficient detail. Excuse me. I probably have no way of actually finding the image again to display it for reference, so just, you know, Google Tiki Head and you'll eventually find what I'm trying to make, I suppose. That goes there. Yeah, that looks about right. And that's it there. No, I don't need any spruce signs, which is good because I didn't make any. Seriously? Can you go away? Just for once? Can you leave me in peace for 5 minutes of my life? That's all I've ever asked of anyone, and I feel like it's not too much to ask. Well, I don't know where he went. He's probably dead. It's probably fine. Let's see. And then these go here. Sort of give it like horns or something. I don't know. I don't think tikis have horns, but you get the point. Probably. These. So the reason that these trap doors are here will become apparent later. I could use slabs just as easily, but it does sort of, that and the signs does sort of give it the sort of tiki snarl that seems to be so heavily associated with them in Western interpretations. A lot of the ones I've seen that are quote-unquote authentic seem to be grinning more than snarling, but, you know, this is a vengeful tiki god, so I guess it has to look angrier. How did I do the top here? Alright, so we do that, and then the fun part. Tikis a lot of the time seem to have this bit of foliage. Oh, hang on. No. Thank you. Server's not running great today. They have this little bit of foliage up top. Sort of a foliage crown. I gotta fix that. So I'm gonna stick a dark oak sapling in a brown flower pot and do some of that to give it the sort of crenellations. I don't know what you'd call them. And oh, right. You know what I did wrong? Hang on. This is not supposed to be spruce. It's supposed to be dark oak. Give it a little extra depth. There we go. So, one of two things is going to happen here. So, there's going to be some hopper somewhere that you put probably iron or something. I have an iron farm, but I might... It doesn't work right now, obviously, so I'm going to run out eventually. I might make it iron. I might make it, I don't know, redstone is useful. I don't really need diamonds, and diamonds seem a bit expensive for the quantity of gunpowder that's being output, so I may just go with iron just for the sake of argument. But if you put an iron in, this lower part of the teeth opens up. Oh, come on! Really? Is this something I have to deal with? I think my next task for the data pack is I'm going to make baby zombies spawn less. Just because I'm either going to reduce the spawn rate, because in 1.16.2 I think they fix it so that I can actually make baby zombies not baby zombies by modifying the NBT data. Or I'm going to just nerf them, because there's the attribute command, and I think I can target an entity. Yeah, I can target entities, and I can reduce like their maximum health or their chance to spawn reinforcements. I don't know. I might knock down their knockback resistance, just so you. That would be fun, actually. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bump down the baby zombie knockback resistance so that when you punch them, they just go flying. I'm gonna put it in the negatives. There's an idea. Anyway, that's what it looks like. And I'm probably going to build a small volcano back behind it to hide the redstone in and to keep the stock in. And then there's going to be, I realize I went completely off the topic I was on. There's going to be a little, like a dais or a dais. I'm sure that's pronounced exactly opposite to how I think it's pronounced. It's going to be one of those like there that you stand on. I might make it so that there's a hole here that you throw the iron in, but then the gunpowder would come out here and fall in. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Maybe if there's iron in there, this closes. Yeah, that's something. Anyway, if you put iron in, gunpowder is going to shoot out the bottom here. But if you put something other than iron in, this top bit's going to open up and it's going to hit you in the face with a firework and kill you. It's a little disproportionate, but I think it'll be amusing. So I'm going to build the volcano and then we're going to cut back. Yeah, okay. I've been looking at it. There is almost no way that I can recreate this redstone because it's just assembling a jigsaw puzzle made of zip ties. It's just a mess. So I'm gonna redo it from scratch, and I'll check in when I'm done. All right, let's see if this works here. Be a really bad thing if it didn't. Here we go. Okay. All right. So fireworks shop is done. Well, it's not a fireworks shop. It's a gunpowder shop. You get the point. Same thing. But it's done. I don't know whose llama that is. That's not mine. Here we go. So we've got the Bombs Ahoy Artillery Emporium. And I didn't bring any iron with me. So, alright, fortunately someone had bought something from Salty Pete's over there. So I had a little bit of iron in reserve. So if you throw an iron ingot into this hopper down here, it'll take a second to process. And then gunpowder comes out of the teeth. And ideally, this stair here covers up the hopper so that nothing falls in there while you're purchasing, your gunpowder. That doesn't always happen. As you can see, I have 8. It only spits out 4. So what can be assumed to happen is that I threw some iron in there, and then it went back in the hopper, and I had to start over. So let me show you what happens when you throw in something that isn't an iron ingot, just so you know what I went through. Are you still here? Get out of here. We've got too many of you already. Alright, let's use this lead. Let's throw this in here. This is slightly painful, so brace yourselves. If you throw in something that isn't iron, it just spits a firework at you and tries to kill you. Okay. Now, Dewey did get got by this because he's incredibly poor and thought that he could get away with paying with dirt or something. I don't know what he threw in, but he did throw in something other than iron and got smacked in the face and died. So, good for Dewey. Let's see. I've also opened up Salty Pete's. It's open for business. You can get, of course, out here on the front deck. You can buy some of Pete's classic bootlegs, which is just water and rotten flesh. A bootleg, of course, to Salty Pete means anything that's gone bad. In here, of course, we have Chloride Hank. Salty Pete, of course, could not be bothered to attend, so he's left his interns in charge. We've got our specials, 3 iron ingots for 2 Nautilus shells, 1 saddle, or 3 name tags. I think that's a good deal, especially because there's a name tag shop right across the way that's seriously overselling on name tags. Throwing that out there. We've got fish for an ingot. We've got enchanted fishing rods for 3 ingots. We've got whatever the hell this stuff is for 1 ingot, which, 2 ingots for a stack of bones. I call that a good deal. And we've got enchanted books for 1 ingot per enchantment tier. So this one's a level 4. That's 4 ingots. This one's a 2, a 3, a 3, and a 3. That's 11. You get the point. There is a mechanism I'm trying to work on that I haven't quite finished, where this hopper will actually remove all of the books of the day and put them into this dropper and recycle them randomly, but I don't have enough backlog of books for that to do anything yet, so that's not on at the moment. But we have a lot of books in the fishing traps that could do with being, shall we say, displaced monetarily. We've also got this classic adventure hat, which is available by special order. I don't know where you would put in a special order. Lord knows Chloride Hank ain't gonna take it down. You know what? Put it in a written book and leave it on this shelf. I'll forget to check for it, but or just tell me, because most of the people on this server have my contact information. And of course, then we have the bargain bin, which is leather boots, anything with a curse or no enchantment at all, and air. You can get that for 1 iron ingot. I think it's a good deal. I also damaged my anvil, which is just great. But there we go. That's an accomplishment, I think. I also I put in this river back here, which you saw on my way down, just so that it makes sense for Salty Pete to be fishing around here. Even though, again, Salty Pete is currently not present. He has business elsewhere. And also, it gives you something to fall into when you drop out of the end, which I thought, there was a tiny lake right there. Now it's a little bigger. Seemed like a good investment to me. So, I've got, I want to say like 2 other things, but I forget what the second one is that I want to get done, that we may or may not be getting done in the immediate future. I've got the stronghold, as it stands, does not look very good, and I'd like to make it look slightly better, both the one by Palms Ahoy and the one near spawn. So I'm going to try and work on that, and we'll see what happens. And something else that I've forgotten that I want to do. I don't know what this is. This is Zaktakan's been building this temple of Kabuka God, and I don't know why. So we're just going to leave it. So anyway, I forget what the other thing I wanted to do is, but I'm sure my memory will be refreshed in 30 seconds when I go check my notepad and it tells me exactly what it was. Let's see. On an unrelated note, I have also been expanding the boardwalk over at Palms Ahoy. It's nothing particularly exciting, but it is a fairly major cosmetic change, so I figured I should probably at least pay lip service to it. I also put in a beach here, and I swapped out some of the blocks that I use underneath the boardwalk. These are actually stone brick walls now instead of stairs, because they can go up a full block if there's a block on top of them now, so it doesn't look quite as bad. I do have to put slabs behind them so they don't connect, but it's not terrible, I think. So this is a mountain that was created to be a charged creeper farm, specifically to be struck by lightning.
Okay.
And with the few instances of the Fijian language that are available on the Wikipedia dictionary, I was able to give it a name that reflects that. Unfortunately for both of us, and this is absolutely true, the Fijian name for Thunder Mountain translates directly to Kurabuka. This is a real thing.
No.
This is true.
No.
Kurabuka. So it's actually Kabuka Mountain.
I hate that.
We're never going to call it Kabuka Mountain. It's just Mount Kurabuka.
Yeah. It does make a lot of noise.
It does. There is definitely something to noise about here.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if you have any names for the casino, but I've got one I'd like to throw at you.
Okay.
The High Tide Casino.
Okay.
It's sufficiently tacky. And
It
do
is.
you know why they call it that?
They sell drugs in this casino.
No, it's because half of the casino is quite literally underwater.
Ah.
And you know why?
Because it flooded.
No, it's to exploit a zoning loophole.
Oh,
That's the only part they can gamble in because it's the only part that's in international waters.
genius.
It's like it's a hybrid casino, right? So you got the slots, you got the roulette, but also you've got a racetrack outside.
Of course.
But you don't race horses.
You race the local fauna.
What do you think the local fauna is? Because I know what we should race, but I'd like to hear your side of it.
Dolphins.
That's a thought. I was thinking something else.
We've got these red things, which don't make much of a race.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's the cats.
I was not thinking the cats,
Were you
but now
not?
I'm thinking the cats. No, I was thinking we race the turtles.
Oh.
Yeah, because the turtles are all hatched over there, and their pathfinding will tell them always go back over there.
That's true.
So if we
Yes.
put them in a lane, and we have them race back over there, I went AFK for a few hours overnight, and when I came back, this entire wing had been struck by lightning and burned to the ground. So I'm having to make sure I've put everything back in the right place. This is why you don't go AFK in a thunderstorm, people. I don't even know where the lightning hit because there aren't a lot of surfaces that can support a fire for longer than a few seconds around here. Like it could have hit there, but it shouldn't have really spread from there. We'll just chalk that up to one for the ages, and I hope it never happens again. Alright, my latest addition to the Datapack in my slow and inexorable journey into putting the server into the 21st century is is this thing. It's a roller mill. It's sort of not really a roller mill technically speaking, but it's the only word that came up on Google that seemed appropriate. Let me just show you how it works. I'm going to take a piece of stone, I'm going to give it a redstone pulse, and it's going to turn, and that's going to happen. I'm going to fix that in a second. Wait for it. It does take a while. It does take 18 seconds to finish its thing. So, you know, we're gonna be here for a second. I'll just cut this out in the next installments. And anytime now. There we go. And then that turns that stone into cobblestone. And then we put the cobblestone in, hit the button, and whoops. And then we just crossfade like that, and there we go. Oops. And then that turns into 4 gravel. And then you can put the gravel in and hit the button again and do another crossfade. Any second now. Here we go. And then that'll turn into flint. And that's as far down as it goes. So basically it reduces things into smaller things. You can turn sandstone into sand. You can turn sugarcane into sugar, I think. Cocoa beans into brown dye. Flowers into red dye, that sort of thing. Probably something else I'm forgetting. Probably glowstone back into glowstone dust. That sort of thing. Probably the most important one, though, is that you can turn granite into sand. Because, geologically speaking, granite is, from what I'm aware of, the most common sand type where the base component is a rock and not the smashed up shell of an extinct mollusk. Yeah, okay, we gotta fix that. We're gonna fix that in a minute here, actually. But this is gonna turn into 2 sand a piece, and you can put 5 slots in. So this is gonna make 10 sand at a time. You put a couple stacks of this in, you're gonna be rolling in sand. It doesn't make sand renewable. Well, actually, it kind of does, but it does make it a lot easier to get a hold of. Because, good lord, I do not like granite. It's one of the worst looking blocks in the game, I think. I've seen it used well maybe once in my life, and I don't remember how. So anyway, here's what we're gonna do here. This takes 18 seconds to finish its thing, and then it needs another redstone pulse. This is a windmill. I added this a couple versions ago because Casey wanted one. This takes 18 seconds to complete a rotation, and whenever it completes a rotation, if you have an observer hooked up to it, it blinks and sends out a little pulse. And I'm not going to wait the full 18 seconds, so we're just going to... These don't need to be here, but you get the point. My redstone power is a little finicky in this, so you can technically transmit redstone power to one of my custom items by just putting it into the air above it. It's no less inconsistent than pistons, in my defense. Good lord, I hate working with pistons and redstone that's like 3 blocks above them and it still powers them. You get the point. Anyway, so this is going to run fully automatically now. Zacticon has so eloquently reminded me that windmills were never in their life used to grind down granite into sand, but then he followed that up by saying, on second thought, I don't actually know what a windmill was ever used for, and then spent 45 minutes Googling what were windmills used for. But you get the point. We now have a fully automatic granite into sand machine, and we can get rid of this button altogether. Now, the one problem is that the windmill looks kind of silly from the outside, so I'm going to work on that too. But that's... There we go. Give me that back. That's another story. Alright, so here's... I don't know why these are all crowded around here. I'm just going to ignore it. Here's my other latest addition to the data pack, and this is probably going to be the last thing I work on because we're at like 37 minutes now or something. I'm not keeping track. But I just added this to the data pack. We've had blenders for a while, but I just made it so you can actually use them. So what you do is you take some ice or some packed ice or some blue ice, whichever kind of ice you use determines the speed of the blender. And then you take, let's say, some grapes and some. Yeah, you can put any 2 fruits in here. If you use 2 of the same fruit, it does a certain thing, and if you use 2 different fruits, it does something else. And then that's going to blend, and then that goes in the blender, and then you put a glass bottle in, and you get grape tomato juice. And this is something I've wanted to do and have not had really the means to do. So I sort of compromised with this. If you put, depending on the fruit you put in, it's going to give you a different effect on the potion that outputs into this juice. So the effects only last for 10 seconds, but what this means is that if you put in 2 different fruits, you can get 10 seconds of 2 different potion effects from the same potion, which is something that I would like to be in the game. I think maybe you put a couple potions in a cauldron or something that could be a use for a cauldron. I don't know. And then it comes out with 2 different potions. That might even work on Bedrock. I don't know. I don't play Bedrock because this version's better. Anyway, let's see what these are. The caveat is that it does not tell you which effect goes where. All right, so jump boost and strength from that. That makes sense. It doesn't really, but you get the point. So this is basically a way for you to make very, very short potion effects, very, very weak potions that have multiple effects at once. So if you need strength and resistance at the same time, but you don't need it for very long, you can pop this potion, get them both, or you could get resistance and absorption. I don't know what gives resistance. I think it's potatoes, and I didn't bring any of those with me. But you get the point. It's a way to mix potions. The downside is that you can't turn them into splash potions, which is something I would have liked to do, because some of these can give you nausea, some of them can give you poison. So I would have liked to have just like a nausea poison potion you can throw at people and just ruin their day. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. Let's try chorus fruit and an apple. I didn't bring enough fruit to do the carrot, I guess, but I think that gives you haste. And you see, again, that goes in there. Each one has a different color. Sometimes it's correlated to the fruit you put in, sometimes it isn't. It's working with colors in Minecraft data is kind of tricky, but apples give you saturation, so you're not going to really see any effect from that, but I think chorus fruits give you slow falling, yep, for 10 seconds. So that's another one. If you need like 10 seconds of jump boost and slow falling, or 10 seconds of slow falling and fire resistance, you could make those. Of course, Granted, you're not going to be in a situation in which you need those imminently and have access to a blender and ice and a bottle to put them in, so you kind of got to stock up with every conceivable combination of juice and have it fill up your entire inventory. But I'm sure there's an application somewhere. And for the piece de resistance, I've already shot this, but I'm going to do this first and then put it beforehand so that it looks like this is a preceding clip to the other thing and not shot in post. We're going to make one of our many menu items and give it to Zacticon for a taste test. The monkey's bite, which is a phrase he found in an obscure history textbook about the death of a Grecian king or something that he immediately latched onto. But that's a spider eye and a banana. And in a couple seconds here, you're going to see what that does. That's what it looks like. Again, color blending doesn't always work. Sometimes you just get sort of an off gray, but, you know, I tried. Why does that look lopsided from here? That's probably fine. And that, if you put in a spider eye, it becomes swill. If you put in a poisonous potato, it becomes grog. If you put in two spider eyes, it's like potent swill or something. So there's a lot of interesting combinations and a lot of interesting implications to it. Frankly, okay, I gotta fix this. Sometimes when these armor stands spawn in for the seats, you can see them flash for a second. Anyway, that's not important. That's something I gotta fix, not something you gotta fix. Anyway, literally the only reason I added this is because I wanted to be able to serve all of these drinks we advertise at Flying Jibs, and I've actually started putting together a menu because we've got a couple of recipes already. But anyway, I'm gonna let Zacticon take it away, and then we're gonna flash to the intro and fade out, and then we're gonna cut back in with the clip that comes after the credits, like in the Marvel movies, which is something largely unrelated to the rest of the video. Anyway, that's me. I'm not gonna drink this because I know exactly what happens, and it's not gonna end well for me. So Winston, you can start fading not out but to the other thing now, and I'm in the water. Okay. Well, this just sucks. Yeah, so I've thrown you a new beverage that I think you will appreciate.
Let's see.
Senior Mixmaster Flying Jib here has whipped it up for you.
Mixmaster. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Does this just kill me?
Let's find out.
Oh.
Enjoy the monkey's bite.
Is this poison and withered something? Speed.
Speed. Yeah. That is a banana and a spider's eye.
I see.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Monkey's bite.
The monkey's bite. Yep. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Where did that come from?
It's Hannibal Lecter from Casino Royale.
Yeah, I know who that is. But why would that be made?
I don't know. I don't know.